Yo, thank you so much for tuning into the Greatly Destined podcast. Marlin, man, I'm pretty sure we talked about this last week. What'd I tell you?
What'd he do? What's going on, man?
That boy Draymond, what'd I tell you? That's a little bit of jealousy. That punch had some envy in it. That wasn't just a punch of, oh, you talk shit about me, boy, I'm gonna get you back. That was a punch of, you got something I want.
What is that?
What did I tell you?
What is it that he want?
This week, both Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins both signed 4-year contract extensions with the Golden State Warriors. I think I talked to you last week, and I told you I feel like Draymond Green's, when he punched Jordan Poole, I feel like that was a little bit of, there was some jealousy there.
Yeah, you did say that.
Draymond believes that he's on the way out. These two cats are on the way in, and these two cats are the next dynasty of the Golden State Warriors. Draymond Green is going to have to watch a part of the Golden State Warriors hoist trophies up in the air that he's not a part of.
Sometime in the future.
You know, they're already having that talk with him right now. They're like, Draymond, hey, man, you're a good basketball player. You've been good. You've been good for this team. You know, you're a good leader. We wouldn't have any of these championships if it wasn't for you. You are a huge part of these championships.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, man, we got some young brothers in the building who got some talent that got to get paid.
They need some time too.
They got to get paid and they need some time.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. You can stay on the squad, but we're going to have to shave off your minutes and shave off your check. Or, if not, we'll trade you. You know? And that's not what Draymond wants to hear. Draymond is a star. You know, Draymond he kind of has an ego. And egos aren't always a bad thing. Egos can drive people. That's where his ego did with him.
Yeah.
But the problem is when you do have a large ego, when it's your time to hang it up and, you know, and say, I've lived the best part of my career, for a lot of them, it's not so easy to accept. And I feel like that's where Draymond is in his career.
Yeah, it comes with a certain understanding. That understanding that, I mean, it's a change that's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna age. You know what I'm saying? But so, you know, you just got to be able to understand that and accept that. You know, this is who I am now. You know what I'm saying? This is the roles I'm willing to play. But I mean, I really hope that it wasn't because of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I like I said last week, man, I think the dog is a solid figure, and he's someone that people should look to. You know what I'm saying? Because we still need that toughness. You know what I'm saying, in sports. You know, that competitiveness that come at you. You know what I'm saying? We still need that element as well. So,
yeah. Draymond fit perfectly for the Golden State Warriors because they were a team. Well, Draymond's gonna fit. Honestly, I believe Draymond can fit perfectly anywhere. Because Draymond's a player that you want on your team because he's going to make the hard plays. You know, he's going to defend you guys verbally, physically, anything it takes. And he's definitely the guy that you want on your team, but he's the guy that you hate to play against. So right now I'm having a hard time imagining who he would be good playing with, only because he's had so much turmoil playing against everybody else. Who can you imagine
come to the Bulls?
Come to the Bulls. Who you think he'll blend with well on the Bulls?
Come to the Bulls.
Or is you just bullshit? You actually want him on the Bulls?
Man, come to the Bulls, man.
Who you think he'll blend with well on? You think he'll blend with the Bulls well?
Yeah.
How?
He got the boys. Come on, they got the boy Levine. You got DeRozan. You know what I'm saying? It's a very. I feel like the environment there is dope as hell right now. You know what I'm saying? As far as the chemistry and them guys just clicking in, those people that came in. Come through the Bulls, man. Because we need that toughness too. We need them rebounds. We need that presence. You feel me? Like
Draymond is a facilitator. Draymond is like a less skilled version of a LeBron James. A less skilled and less athletic version of a LeBron James.
If that's who you being compared to, you going crazy.
I'm not saying he's good as LeBron James. I'm just less skilled. That's why I emphasize less skilled and less athletic. Like
comparison is crazy.
He has. You believe that's a crazy comparison?
That's an admirable comparison. So if somebody's comparing you to LeBron, you're doing some shit right in this world. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, you can compare them to LeBron, but still say they're nowhere near as good as LeBron. It's just the play style is similar. There's levels to it. You know, LeBron's an all-around play style, but he's like the greatest who has ever done that all-around play style, and arguably the greatest to ever play the game. You know, I also believe that Draymond is an all-around play style as well, but he's not even a top 50 greatest to play the game, in my opinion. You know, but Draymond, those all around play styles, they really can go from any team, and they can really blend well because the idea, the concept of being that all around player is you learn your team, you learn the organization, you learn what works, role. And then you learn your role, and then you just kind of act as that glue. You talk about the Chicago Bulls, they haven't really had that facilitator in a long time, and the last player they had that was kind of similar to a Draymond Green would have been Joakim Noah.
For sure.
It would have been Joakim Noah. And Joakim Noah, in my opinion, he was not the best player. I didn't like Joakim Noah. I don't know. He just couldn't make layups.
I mean, he got some good.
Like, make a layup, my G. Like, is it really that hard?
He had some real rebounds.
Do you understand how many games we lost because Joakim Noah missed a wide open layup?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need that. That's why we need that type of presence. That's why we need people like that. Mm-hmm. You need that toughness. But no, Joakim Noah was tough. He was tough.
Can you see Draymond playing for any other team?
I think that he could, like you said, I think he can blend well a lot of places. Can I see him anywhere?
There's talks of Los Angeles and Dallas.
Which Los Angeles team?
Lakers.
Oh, he'd go crazy. Him and Brown on the same. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When Anthony Davis, when his toe hurting and shit, and he can't play no more, you got Draymond and shit.
Yeah. I don't know about the Lakers though, man. I remember. See, the problem with the Lakers are a super team. Super teams are so common nowadays that we don't even acknowledge.
You think that's a super team right now?
Are you kidding? Well, not right now, but it should be a super team given the names on that team in recent years. Russell Westbrook, really Russell Westbrook hasn't been good in like 4 years, bro.
It's not.
But he's just Russell Westbrook. We keep thinking of that dude from 2016,
bro. He has to come to the realization that it's a different role that he has to play for this team. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even think it's necessarily that of him just declining and getting bad. It's like he's just trying to figure out how can I, flourish in this this new role that I have. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, nah, bro. He's still doing this shit.
You think he can still be Russell?
For sure.
I don't think he ever was the fit for the Lakers though. LeBron needs a Chris Paul type of point guard. Really, he doesn't because he's damn near a Chris Paul his damn self. He's like a 6'8" Chris Paul.
But no, Chris Paul be cooking niggas. CP3 be cooking niggas. Oh, my God. If you got CP3 at point, niggas like CP3 and Rondo, bro, like, them type of guys. Rondo, and he's more of a traditional PG. He's not. He ain't more so pull up. He gonna dish that bitch off and get y'all where you need to be.
Rondo's an exceptional point guard for
but them type of point guards, I think them the ones that need to be on the side of LeBron.
That's
and
what Rondo
was. Yep. And Rondo actually was.
And he was an exceptional point guard for LeBron.
But I would love to see CP3 and that nigga. That shit'd be like ridiculous. That'd be ridiculous still, and they older. Like that'd be crazy.
You think they could win a championship together? That would be really cool. Those two grown-ass men in their late 30s beating up on the young dudes. That'll be a nice little OG thing to watch. Show you the OG still got it.
I think the thing that would make or break them would be Anthony Davis. Bro.
Why is that never went down? Chris Paul and LeBron, they're seemingly friends.
Yeah, sure.
Their play styles will mesh together like gold.
Yeah.
Why would they not want to be on the same team at one point?
No,
never ended up that way. Money is a thing now. People don't just, you're a free agent, I'm a free agent too. Let's be on the same team. It's not like that nowadays.
He got with Carmelo for a minute. Carmelo was with him for a minute. I thought that would have been interesting.
Remember when Carmelo wanted to come to the Bulls?
Why didn't you, man?
I'm saying, do you remember when he wanted to?
No, yeah, for sure. That's why I was talking to him. I was like, why didn't you? That
would have been a disaster.
Man, I don't know.
I liked the team we had in 2016 era when he wanted to come to the Bulls.
Yeah.
We had Pau Gasol, Joakim Noah. Why did I say that dude's name second? He doesn't deserve it. Pau Gasol, Derrick Rose.
The Disrespect.
Pau Gasol, Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler, Taj Gibson.
Taj, man. Was Heinrich still there or no?
Kirk Heinrich. I wasn't a fan of Kirk Heinrich. Not the second. When Kirk Heinrich was on the Bulls the first time around, like 2004 and all that, sure. Yeah. But like
that was Ben Gordon.
That second time. You know what I liked about Kirk Heinrich though that I thought was kind of interesting?
What?
I like the fact that Kirk Heinrich just seemed like a normal ass dude.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of because like when you're in the NBA, you start making money and you're just like flexing and showing off all the goddamn time. Like you wear the most expensive things to pregame. Like you will see them coming into the locker room like through the tunnel.
Yeah.
And everybody's like wearing really expensive clothes. And then Kirk Heinrich will wear basic jeans, like New Balance shoes and a North Face. That was interesting to me. Like this dude's in the NBA. He just looks like a normal old dude. That always catches my eye when I see that. It's interesting.
That's regular white boy shit, ain't it?
Not nowadays.
Bro, them niggas, they'll pull up.
Look at dudes like Tyler Hero and all that.
Wow, is that more on the wicked side? Or like
he's one of, yeah.
Yeah, So that's that. Yeah, that's different.
Mm-hmm.
But the
European ones are still like that.
Come through with the dirty New Balance. You know what I'm saying? They just got done getting out some mud. Now they about to go to the club tonight. With the blue jeans, the bleached blue jeans with no holes in them.
Yeah, but you could tell if you look at
green shirt.
If you look at old footage of like NBA players in the 90s,
yeah,
you could tell black players and white players just started like really hanging out together. Because in the 90s, like go look at the Last Dance documentary. All of the white dudes were the whitest dudes, like they literally look like my history teachers from high school. That's why there was always that joke. Michael Jordan played against mailmen. Why? Funny, bro. You hear those memes? You see those memes when they discredit the Michael Jordan LeBron conversation. They're like LeBron James has to play against Giannis Antetokounmpo. This is what Michael Jordan had to play up against. And it just shows the most basic white dude who looks like a freaking mailman.
Yeah.
That's because that's what like they all looked like back then because they were just white dudes. They didn't hang out with the black dudes who had that swag, the sauce. Like now that they're hanging out with them more, you got the JJ Redicks, you got the Tyler Heroes, like white guys with a little bit more like swag, because like like they actually hang out with these black dudes. Back in the 90s, it was like you got your white dudes over here, your black dudes over here, and the teams were kind of segregated. I would imagine
they come into the source to get the sauce.
Damn near.
You know what I'm saying? So.
You don't think white guys can have sauce on their own?
Absolutely, but you gonna have your type of sauce.
How does white guy sauce look like?
White guy sauce is
Donald Trump.
No. Just I don't know, bro. I don't know what they sauce is like. Maybe it's like that the nigga on the motorcycle with the leather jacket. Like, is that they sauce?
Possibly. I feel like that's everybody's sauce.
Because that nigga with the motorcycle and the leather jacket probably getting some hoes.
Oh, you talking about like with the long hair, like the young guy?
Yeah, or whatever, just that vibe or that emo vibe. Them emo niggas probably get some hoes.
You don't think they could be black emo? I actually see that's an increasing amount. I see a ton of black emo dudes.
But I ain't gonna speak on that. I'm not even gonna speak on that. I was gonna say something crazy.
Think about like Juice WRLD and stuff. What were you about to say? You could express it.
No, I ain't listened to Juice WRLD a lot, but he was extremely talented. He could freestyle his ass off.
Extremely, but I'm saying like guys.
I don't listen to
like
sad boy
him.
music.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm not into sad boy music.
It doesn't make me feel good.
Yeah, that's my whole point. Like if life is already fucked up, you think I want to listen to you talk about how life is fucked up for you too? Like no, motherfucker.
They're talking to, but they say when you express that, it makes you feel better. But I feel like there's a difference between expressing and self-loading.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's not like you niggas looking for solutions.
They're not looking for solutions. They are promoting it.
I'm just taking drugs all night. I'm like, damn, nigga.
I've always hated my life.
Bro, bro, I ain't got time for that, bro. That's not the energy I need. I don't need that energy.
Oh, man. Nah, but I feel like I'm a solution-oriented dude. I'm not trying to sit here. Trust me, I'm a sensitive guy. You know, I do my fair share of crying. I do my fair share of all that, and I can admit that. You feel me? I do my fair share of expressing my feelings. Yeah. But the thing is, like, I'm not gonna live in them and dwell in them. You feel me? And I feel like sometimes in society we be promoting that shit nowadays.
That's what everything is feeling based. If you look out in the world, everything is feeling based. And that's why when you niggas be like, man, shit is so weird these days. It's like, because everything is based off a person, how they feel. You can't do this because of how you feel. I feel like this. So this can't be done. Yes, it can be done. Anything can be done. You can do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, this shit just nah. It needs to be more logic based. And it is. And I feel like most people still believe that it's logic based, but they don't want to, kind of put the shit that they have going on in their life, in jeopardy, standing for something. It really don't matter.
I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. I feel like it might give people higher beings, whoever they may be, that don't want the best for us. I feel like it may give them some additional power when we stay in states of self-loathing. Like, and that's kind of why I don't hate to admit it, actually, but I'm a Kanye West fan, both musically, not 100% politically, but 100% spiritually. And when I mean spiritually and mentally too, and when I mean what I mean when I say spiritually and mentally is, I support the way that man thinks and reasons.
Yeah,
you feel me? I support the way that man thinks and reasons, sees life, and not necessarily. I don't really react to I don't necessarily support the way he reacts to people. I feel like he can work on that in that area.
Yeah.
And you don't need to be tweeting at everybody. You don't need to be tweeting, saying stuff like, I'm going to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. Like we can grow in that aspect. But I understand the meaning of the things he does. I don't necessarily understand. I don't necessarily agree with how he may go about that.
I don't. I just feel as though Kanye is he's just in a space that people don't understand, and you're not gonna understand until you in them spaces that he in.
Yeah.
So until I'm in those spaces, I'm not judging or assuming anything about a man that's in a whole nother realm of life. How can I sit here and he doing this, he's saying that, no, like I can't create my own narrative off of what the fuck he's saying, or I can't go off of what social media, a meme said about Kanye. No, bro, it's like, bro, you ain't got shit to do with what these niggas got going on. And respect the nigga mind. I can see if he came out and he was like, man, fuck black people, fuck slavery, everybody should die. That's this nigga, he's whacked out. But I mean, white lives matter. And then, like you were saying, that shit made so much sense last week when you said, as far as he has kids with a white woman. You know what I'm saying? So why wouldn't he want white lives to matter?
I'm saying, can we just stop, everybody? Like, just stop the foolishness. White lives do matter. That's why he wore the shirt. Black lives also matter. The only thing about Black Lives Matter is that he was trying to tell you that the organization that was telling you that was corrupt. They were stealing your money that we could have used to do other things for our community and our people instead of waiting for Joe Biden to do something for us.
And Candace Owens.
That's all the man was saying.
Didn't Candace Owens got some new shit out about when she went to she actually went to visit the spot that they say is the headquarters for the that $1 million, one of the $1 million homes they got. She actually got like a documentary trying at least exposing that.
Oh, you saw that? I think you went back and watched that?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So that shit is crazy, bro.
So the owner of Black Lives Matter, she bought 2 mansions that totaled up to about $5 million. 2 separate mansions.
Crazy.
And she listed it as the Black Lives Matter headquarters. So this is where members and Black Lives Matter leader organizations can meet at. They can have meetings, quote unquote. This is what it's listed as, a headquarters. You know, but she was living there. So you get the idea.
That was the crib.
You list it off in taxes as this is our headquarters, and then you purchase it with your donation money. but you're just living there. It's your crib.
It's the crib.
That's what you're doing. And Candace Owens went up there and she was like, "Hey, how you doing? This is Candace Owens from the Daily Wire, and we're doing a story on Black Lives Matter. I was just looking. It says here this is listed as one of Black Lives Matter's headquarters. I was just looking to see if we could ask somebody some questions." And then Patrice, I always forget what her last name is, but one of the founders of Black Lives Matter, her name is Patrice something. So after Candace Owens does this, good thing Candace Owens, now I don't support everything Candace Owens does and says, but after Candace Owens confronted her and asked for an interview, Candace Owens was actually recording the confrontation, fortunately. So after Candace Owens confronted her, Patrice, the founder of Black Lives Matter, she goes on social media, gets on live, and then talks about how Candace Owens is harassing her outside her house, that they've been there all day, banging on the door, like she feels threatened for her life.
Oh, wow.
And then on Candace's side, well, I don't know what she did when the cameras were off, but at least the recording she got, she was there for like 30 seconds. And then Patrice said, after Candace found out that she couldn't talk to anybody, she was like, "All right, thank you." And then she like just politely went back to her car and drove off. I'm sure that was a fabricated version on her part, but it was just funny to just see the manipulation and just
for sure
the constant playing people.
So, I mean, that's what social media is. Social media is manipulation. You get manipulated as soon as you hop on that motherfucker. Motherfuckers is putting up personas. They putting a mask on who they truly like. You get manipulated as soon as you press Facebook.
That's how you feel?
Any social site. You getting finessed for the most part. In some type of way.
I bring up Kanye because what led into the Kanye conversation is that specifically when it comes to racism, Kanye is he's not a self-loading person. He's not. He even, like, I remember a quote that always sticks out to me, that Kanye said is, I completely give up on the victimization mindset that they feed to our community.
Yep.
And, like, we have to think about that. If they're abusing us, but them forcing you to be a victim, isn't that abuse too? It's like I say these things and people get upset with me. They say that, "Oh, are you discrediting the power of white supremacy and you're not admitting it's real?" Like, no, I am admitting it's real. It might not be the tactics they're telling you. What if it's 50% just submerging you into the subconscious of I'm an oppressed human being? How do you elevate yourself from that thinking if you've already bought the idea that you're oppressed? I'm sorry, but ain't no human being with human blood and flesh can oppress me. Only person that can oppress me is God. And I will firmly stand and die on that hill. I'm not fucking playing around.
I feel as
and
though,
like I hate it boils my blood that there are people in society that want to convince me I'm oppressed and get mad at me for saying I'm not.
They mad at you because you're not taking on the victim mindset, and I'm not, and that's in no way, shape, or form to take away what's transpired because we definitely were put in certain type of situations more than other types. But that's the thing about it is knowledge and resources that could break you free, and just not getting too comfortable in what you're doing. Never get too comfortable, man. You just can't get too comfortable.
Thank you, listeners, for watching the Greatly Destined podcast. We'll be back shortly. The problem they have with Kanye, they feel like because he's made it, he's forgotten about the trial and tribulation that other people have, and that specifically black people, and he's forgotten about that.
That's nothing to get offended by. If a motherfucker is saying like, "Hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? You clearly see multiple people have gotten out of situations," and I ain't even talking about to get to a celebrity status. It's motherfuckers that got out of a situation to where they was in prison Now they making 20 something an hour at a job. You know what I'm saying? Like on any type of fucking level, you can just level the fuck up and get better. So it's like to get offended. Oh man, but it's so hard. Like yeah, nigga, it's hard for everybody. What the fuck is you talking about? Especially hard for us. We know that, bro. But it's like
that's the thing. We know.
Nigga, you know you a victim. What the fuck?
We know.
What's next?
Exactly.
What's next?
Man, it's so refreshing when I talk to black people who I feel like that's the majority of black men. Black men aren't trying to be victimized. Because, like, you understand, like, manhood. Now, listen, I'm 23 years old. I'm not 100% a man. I understand that. I haven't fully learned the lessons of what it means to be a man. I haven't gone through manhood yet. But from what I believe manhood is it's the ability to push to fight, not knowing if you can survive. That's why men go to war. That's why men have put their bodies on the line and risked their life for crazy innovations, like the man who made the airplane. Think about that. It was like, I'm gonna die making this invention that's I'm gonna give to humanity and change the landscape of humanity.
Because we want to do some shit.
That's what I'm saying.
We just want to do some shit.
And if racism is a trial that's in front of me, I'm going to do everything in my power to eradicate and destroy it. I'm not going to look to the people who are being racist. To start being racist. Stop.
Give me something for the oh can you cut it out, please?
All right, we're going to get our asses busted. We're getting our asses roasted for that. They're going to say we cold-hearted now. But sometimes it'd be annoying. Sometimes you gotta make fun of comedy. This is why I love comedy. Sometimes comedy puts things in perspective while making people laugh so they can digest it a little bit better.
For sure.
You feel me? And I don't know. It's like I be going hard sometimes, but then it's like I be getting frustrated. I do feel like black people all over the world, whether it's here in America or whether it's in Africa, the Bahamas, whatever you want to talk, the Caribbean, we've been I don't want to use the word complaining. We have for the last 100 years. More than that. We've been complaining. We know, but what are we going to do now? That's the way. That's my point of view.
I'm not mad at the complaining because it's true. Majority of half of the shit niggas be talking is true. Some of it, fabricated, of course, but that shit is true. It's like, what are we going to do next, bro?
See, that's the thing. I always say education. All these educated Negroes out here. Are you educated to get yourself out of the hole, or do you educate yourself just so you have more excuses?
Hey, man, have you ever heard?
Because there are a lot of people a lot of educated people. Oh, who are like challengers. Oh, you're just ignorant. You don't know. You're not educated.
What's that one book? The educated Negro or something? You know what book I'm talking about?
Mm-mm. Who wrote it?
Man, it's in my Kindle. I'll bring it up, but oh my God! But they kind of broke down how like when you like the black person that kind of goes to college and fill their mind with all that type of ideology and kind of remove. And it's like,
think about that for a second. Who gave you those ideologies? Yeah. Who runs the colleges? You stupid.
Yeah, that's a good ass book. I think the Miseducation of a Negro.
Miseducation. Yep, the Miseducated Negro. I read a book called Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson.
That's a good one.
And you read Powernomics?
I didn't, but I've heard a lot about it.
Powernomics is good, and they were describing the miseducated Negro. Like you think you know stuff because you've read some books. Good for you. You know all the legislation that Republicans have caused. You know all of the brutality they've done. That's bueno.
You know what they want you to know.
You know what they want you to know, basically. But like all that you've done is you've just read a bunch of stuff that's traumatized you. All you've done is you've educated yourself on how badly your oppressor has fucked you in the ass over the last 200 years. You have read nothing about who you actually are as a black person. You have read nothing about where you come from as a black person. You have read nothing about all of the things the black people have done in America. You have read nothing about how we can pull our money together to actually build something in America.
Yeah.
You've read nothing about empowerment. All you've read is traumatizing stuff about how white people have destroyed, dominated, and conquered your black behind over the last 500 years. Traumatized to the point that when another black person says, "Oh, guys, we can come together and form some type of unity and make some like black coalition and like businesses and bring our dollar together," somehow in some world, somebody has tricked you into thinking that person is a coon. We need to be more responsible about what is going on, about the type of images we put out in the media of our black women and our black men. Somehow somebody has tricked you that person is a coon.
I think cool tricked us, bro.
What do you mean not tricked us?
Cool.
Being cool.
I think cool. Everything that's cool, that's what tricked us, bro.
Yeah.
Like, because our standards
conservative mindsets isn't hip right now.
The standards are so low, you know what I'm saying, of what's acceptable or what's quote unquote cool. That's like, if that's the type of shit you own, you ain't really trying to elevate in the first place. Because if you stuck on cool ain't gonna get you nowhere.
Acceptance, validation.
Cool gets you nowhere.
Our culture, I feel like sometimes as black people, collectively,
cool
all over
read,
the world, collectively, we have an addiction to validation because we've been told we ain't nothing for so long that we put ourselves in certain positions that as long as you get validation, recognition, fame, and some money and some type of celebrity, no matter what you're doing is okay because you got paid. I feel like it really can be sickening and poisoning to our community.
But just think about it too, y'all. Like, if a motherfucker gotta constantly remind you how you ain't shit, you just might be something. You just might be the shit.
Because you are.
You just might be the shit.
You are.
You know what I'm saying? If they gotta drive that shit in your head for your entire life, that how you ain't shit, how you wasn't supposed to be shit, how you came from this, you just might be the opposite. You just might be the opposite. Man, you can't. That's why it's dangerous to take in a lot of this shit that they give us, this media shit, bro. A lot of it is dangerous, bro. Because then you start feeling certain ways, gathering anxiety, start putting that on you, and it's like, nah, bro. You gotta be free, man. Be free.
I feel like, yeah, man, that's why I resonate with Kanye. Kanye speaks in a sense of this power, strength. Like, I have this because I have God.
Yeah.
And like I don't go to church I don't go to church on Sundays and stuff, but I was raised a Christian. My mom prays for me. My mom was very powerful. She'd always say stuff like, be the leader, never the follower, dream big, and like she just put that stuff into my head. And Kanye speaks these things out loud, and he speaks these things about black people. He says, I see this type of future if we just do A, B, C, and D.
Yeah.
And it's independently. It's not connected to what the white establishment is doing. And when I say white establishment, the white liberal establishment, because that's why the white conservative establishment loves him, because they want to do their thing and they want black people to do their thing. Yeah. Which is cool. I got no problem with that.
No, for sure. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to, whoever y'all with, they supposed to take care of each other. The Mexicans going to take care of the Mexicans, the whites going to take care of
It's only us who can't understand that concept, but why? Yeah. Slave mindset.
Yep. Exact victim.
Give
me this.
I
deserve this.
I say slave mindset in the term that someone has always created provision for us. Even though they take 100% of what you have and give back 20, at least that giving back 20 has subconsciously told you that this is my provider. It's like a pimp and a prostitute. Think about how a pimp subconsciously breaks down a prostitute.
For sure.
Like he will, like you ain't shit, you nothing. Like he will break her down subconsciously, show her a little bit of love every now and then to confuse her. He will take away her earnings and give her back like 10% of it. Now over time, she's forgotten about all of this all the earnings she's making on the back end, and then she thinks this 10% is some type of provision, and she's living off of this 10%, has become physically, psychologically, and emotionally dependent on that 10%. And I think that's what our government has done to black people.
The pimp and the hoe?
Oh, yeah, bro. What the shit? They are pimping the shit out of us.
Dang.
They pimp the shit out of us.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just like, that's why we really need to like start really thinking about bigger things than social racism. Oh, some judge said the N-word at home. Like, I don't give. Let's all band together and make sure he loses his seat in the. I don't give a shit what some judge is saying at home.
But what about
the fact that as black people we spend over $2 billion on Air Jordans a year. That $2 billion that we could have said no Air Jordans for 1 year as black people.
Yeah.
Come together, put our $2 billion that we say we're so broke and we don't have. We could have done some shit in our collective communities. We could have done something. We could have done something innovative with it.
You know what? You know what's another thing? I think a lot of this shit it's become too cliche for people to really to attract people to actually do it. It's become too cliche. They done heard it too many times. Man, we should come together and we should do this. Man, we should do this. Man, we should do that. We should come together. Unity, unity, unity. Like they done heard it so much that when you hear it, it don't have the same value. You also know what it
is there are too many different types of black people who haven't acknowledged that like we come from the same source. They're black Americans. They're black Africans. They're Jamaicans. They're black Europeans. And we just be acting like they're Dominicans. Dominicans literally don't even consider themselves black. Sure. I know black. I know Godfrey has a joke about that. Sure. I know black. But you're still getting arrested. No, I know black. But like, yeah, there's some like Africans can be really bad too. I know my generation, we identify as black because we grew up here in America. Mm-hmm. We went to the schools. Like, people see us as black people. So in our head, like, we're black. But our parents, they grew up in Africa. So they came here and they didn't see themselves like your parents. You know what I'm saying? So there was that division on that end. And sure. I just feel like the thing is, we need to work together on realizing we all come from the same place. What happened is they went over to West Africa, took half of us, and then sold us all over the world. Mm-hmm. And like that's why you got black Europeans, you got black people in the Bahamas, you got the everywhere. But we were all from the same place initially.
It's I don't know, man. I think once you hear something too many times, it just don't hold the same value in that person's head. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's why and even not only that, bro, look at what they do to anything that you put out productive. You know what I'm saying? Look at what they do to it. They make a meme of it. They make a joke of it. When niggas was sharing information and saying, you know, be woke, then they turned woke into a joke. If you woke, it's a joke. You can sleep on if you a joke. You know what I'm saying? You know, like anything,
but because the people, they turned it into a joke. You can't just
conscious.
You can't just okay, the conscious stuff I don't like. But the woke, they turned it into a joke because you can't just say the most crazy stuff and say #stay woke.
Sometimes that shit was wild. Niggas was
some of them like, wow, yeah.
People was losing their minds. I'm not gonna lie.
That's because they were too woke. They were tired. They needed some sleep. Go back to sleep.
No, but
that's really
if a person, any situation where a person is trying to insert some type of information or some type of betterment for the community, it's gonna get turned into a joke, bro. Umar gets turned into a joke.
Okay, you that nigga be turned.
Everything gets turned into a
Umar
joke.
Funny
bro.
as hell, though. But I see it.
But his points are so pivotal,
We're
bro.
anti-academic.
Progressive. We don't want to progress as a people. We want to progress individually. We don't want to progress as a people.
Slave mindset.
That's why I feel like, and I've always said, bro, we can flourish in small groups, but as a whole, as a collective,
I'm low-key giving up on that, man.
Never, nah.
When I started this podcast, or before I started this podcast, I was thinking about making it like blickety blackety blickety black. You feel me?
I'm black, yo.
Like, like talk about everything that's black under the sun and talk about all the problems and go. And then I was like, I really want this podcast to hit its potential. I love my black people, but I'm getting to the point where it's like I'm really losing hope on the collective rising up.
For sure.
Like, get 5, 6, 7 of your friends, you feel me? Make a small little community for life. Absolutely. Like, no matter what, like, this is family. You feel me? Like, we're staying together no matter what. Like,
find your village, man.
Find your village, build money together, create a little bank. There's no way 7 of you are going to die poor.
Nope.
No. If all 7 of you are dedicated and hardworking,
somebody gonna already have money too.
And if somebody already has money, it's just like an engine. It's just, it can't happen. And that's, you know, and that's where I'm starting to see things. All right, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Mike. Hey, tell the people where you could where they can follow you on social media. Where can they watch your comedy?
Hey, man, Life of Fezzy on YouTube. Fezzy is Fezee. You know what I'm saying? Life of Fezzy on Instagram. Life of Fezzy on Twitter. Shit, we Life of Fezzy everywhere. On Facebook, you know, follow the fan page. I'll be posting on there. And, you know, we got a sketch comedy, Dark Folks, Dark Jokes. We got episode 3 coming out this week. So, you know what I'm saying? Got a lot of, and some other things. You know, we got some things going on out here, man. So, yeah, just stay tuned. Appreciate you.
That's right. And if you're from the Milwaukee area, Marlon and I both do stand-up comedy in the area. So you can come out to one of these clubs, follow our social media so you can keep track. Thanks so much for tuning into the Greatly Destined podcast.
Peace.